And on to details now. In a latest development on October 7th, Hamas attacks on Israel, Britain, Italy and Finland became the latest countries to pause funding for the United Nations Refugee Agency for Palestinians, following allegations its staff were involved in the attack. The United States, Australia and Canada had already paused funding to the aid agency after Israel said 12 UNRWA employees were involved in the cross-border attack. Meanwhile, the agency has opened an investigation into several employees severing ties with them. Well, the United States has welcomed United Nations investigation into its refugee agency following Israel's allegations that 12 UNRWA employees were involved in the October 7th Hamas attack on Israel.
We welcome the UN Secretary General and the Commissioner General of UNRWA, their comments today calling for a full investigation. As Secretary Blinken made clear in his call with the Secretary General yesterday, we expect that will be a complete and thorough and transparent investigation. We all want to see that. It's good for everybody, and that those who should be are properly held accountable for that. And as you saw, the UN said even including the potential for a criminal prosecution.
And Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called on Qatar to bring about the release of hostages in Gaza on Saturday. The remarks come ahead of a likely meeting between the Qatari Prime Minister and intelligence chiefs from Israel, US and Egypt to discuss a potential new deal to free hostages. The talks are expected to take place in an undisclosed location in Europe on Sunday. However, officials from the four countries have not formally confirmed the meeting.
Qatar hosts the leaders of Hamas. It also funds Hamas. It has leverage over Hamas. Qatar committed to make sure that the medication will reach the districts of Hamas to our hostages, and Qatar said that it can help bring them back. So therefore, to put pressure on them, they positioned themselves as mediators. So please go right ahead and prove it. Let them be so good as to bring back our hostages. And in the meantime, make sure they receive the medications.
Well, Israelis protested in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem on Saturday, calling for the immediate release of hostages. Protesters waved Israeli flags, chanted and carried posters with photos of some of the 136 hostages still held in Gaza since October 7th.
We're here tonight because we want to express solidarity with the families of the hostages and with the hostages themselves. We want to call the government and we want to call every decent human being to do everything that they can to release 136 hostages that were abducted by Hamas in an abhorrent act of war, an abhorrent act of terrorism on October 7th and before that. We're here to say the very simple thing that every decent human being should be saying around the world: release them.
Well, Yemen's Houthi rebels attacked a merchant vessel yet again in the Red Sea. It caused fire on board and disruption on the sea route. The Indian Navy swiftly responded to a distress call by the MV and assisted in dousing the blaze on the vessel. Meanwhile, the US carried out a retaliatory strike, destroying a Houthi missile that was ready to be launched into the Red Sea. The UN trade chief has expressed concern over growing strikes by Houthis, resulting in sea route disruptions. Syed Absarul Hassan puts things in context.
Since the Hamas-Israel war, there has been significant instability in Red Sea route. Yemen's Houthi rebels have intensified their attacks on vessels passing through the area. They targeted a fuel tanker operated by the trading firm Trafigura, causing a fire on board on Friday. In a statement, Trafigura said that a missile struck the fuel tanker Marlene Luanda operating on its behalf as it transited the Red Sea. Firefighting equipments were used to suppress and control the fire caused in one cargo tank on the starboard side. Indian Navy's guided missile destroyer INS Vishakhapatnam, deployed in the Gulf of Aden, came into action and responded to a distress call from MV Marlene Luanda. In a statement, Indian Navy said the firefighting efforts on board the distress merchant vessels is being augmented by the NBCD team along with firefighting equipments deployed by INS Vishakhapatnam to assist the crew on board the MV. The MV has 22 Indian and 1 Bangladeshi crew on board. Indian Navy remains steadfast and committed towards safeguarding MVs and ensuring safety of life at sea. The Houthi military spokesperson said its naval forces carried out an operation targeting the British tanker Marlene Luanda in the Gulf of Aden.
انتصارا لمظلومية الشعب الفلسطيني.
Yemeni naval forces carried out a targeting operation on the British oil tanker Marlene Luanda in the Gulf of Aden using a number of appropriate naval missiles. The strike was direct and resulted in the burning of the vessel.
استهداف لسفينة نفطية بريطانية.
In the Red Sea.
UN Chief of Trade Facilitation has expressed concern over the Houthi strikes on vessels disrupting trade between Europe and Asia.
More than 80% of volume of international trade in goods is carried by sea. And the percentage is even higher for most developing countries. So maritime transport is really the lifeline of global trade. We are very concerned that the attacks on Red Sea shipping are adding tensions, costs to global trade, exacerbating trade disruption due to geopolitics and climate change. No?
The U.S. military claimed to destroy a Houthi anti-ship missile in Yemen that was aimed into the Red Sea and ready to launch strikes. The missile, which posed an imminent threat to merchant vessels and the U.S. Navy ship in the region, was destroyed 8 hours after a Houthi anti-ship missile damaged an oil tanker in the Gulf of Aden on Friday. U.S. and British naval forces had carried out attacks on Houthi facilities across Yemen and shot down 21 drones and missiles fired by Yemen-based Houthi on January 10. U.S. has said that these attacks have seriously disrupted international commerce on the key route between Europe and Asia that accounts for about 15% of world shipping traffic. Many shipping companies have been forced to reroute their vessels, taking the longer journey around Africa, although several oil majors, refiners and trading houses have continued to use it. Syed Afsarul Hassan for DD India.
And moving on, 9 Pakistani nationals have been killed by unidentified gunmen in the southeastern border area of Iran on Saturday. Relatives mourned the deaths of their loved ones amid efforts by the two countries to mend ties after the recent tit-for-tat attacks. The shooting occurred ahead of a planned visit of Iranian Foreign Minister Hossein Amir-Abdollahian to Pakistan on Monday. No individuals or groups have so far claimed the responsibility for the shootings. Well, Finland is headed to polls to elect a new president for a 6-year term on Sunday. The elections are the first after the country broke its non-alignment stance and joined North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Amongst the 9 candidates vying for the position of president, Alexander Stubb has emerged as the front-runner, with recent polls giving him 22 to 27% support in the first round. And moving on, former U.S. President Donald Trump on Saturday said that he feels mentally sharp now, reacting to recent attacks on his age and verbal gaffes by Republican presidential rival Nikki Haley. Trump was speaking at a rally in Nevada ahead of the next vote in the Republican presidential nominating race, a caucus in the state on February 8th. In recent days, Haley has accused former Republican President Trump of being confused and has questioned his ability to be president at his age.
I'll tell you what, I feel sharper now than I did 20 years ago. I really do. I don't know. It's probably not true. It's probably not true. And I think anybody running for president should take an aptitude or a cognitive test.
Amid nationwide protest, French farmers created a bonfire in front of the southern city of Montpellier's prefecture to celebrate breakthrough in their demands. The government dropped plans to gradually reduce state subsidies on agricultural diesel and announced other steps aimed at reducing financial and administrative pressures faced by many farmers. However, protests still continue as farmers say the measures did not go far enough to meet their demands. In Bolivia, miners on Saturday celebrated the traditional mining carnival parade on the streets of Potosi. The event kicked off with the miners descending from the mines to the main avenue of Potosi, where they joined the carnival parade, dancing, singing and showing off their work tools. During the celebration, the workers pay homage to Tata Cueca, known as the god who protects the miners.
Hermosamente vestidas en la tradicional.
A giraffe who inspired a campaign to relocate him because of his lonely life in a park in northern Mexico border has found a new home. He was successfully introduced to his new herd at the African Safari Wildlife Reserve in Puebla on Saturday. The London Eye, Piccadilly Circus, the Millennium Centre were among the many British landmarks across the country that lit a purple on Saturday to mark Holocaust Memorial Day. The violet tones were to illustrate this year's theme, the fragility of freedom. And still to come on this edition of DD India Live. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts in the program Mann Ki Baat on Sunday at 11 a.m. IST. All eyes were trained on Bihar CM Nitish Kumar, with the JDU president appearing to be inching towards a second political volte-face in less than 3 years. And India's Rohan Bopanna creates history by becoming the oldest person to win a doubles Grand Slam title.
We just don't bring you the news as it unfolds. We get to the heart of the matter.
We don't just present facts. We demystify complex social, political and economic events.
We break stories that shape the world's present and future because you deserve the truth.
I am Tanvi Taneja from New Delhi.
I'm Ollie Barrett from London.
I'm Nick Harper from Washington, D.C.
Join us on DD India Global Monday to Friday at these times.
We just don't bring you the news as it unfolds. We get to the heart of the matter.
We don't just present facts. We demystify complex social, political and economic events.
We break stories that shape the world's present and future because you deserve the truth.
I am Tanvi Taneja from New Delhi.
I'm Ollie Barrett from London.
I'm Nick Harper from Washington, D.C.
Join us on DD India Global Monday to Friday at these times.
Always welcoming. The vibe of Punjab is larger than life. Warm up to grandeur that's beyond compare. And history that's dotted with tales of bravery. Smiling soul of India, where music, art, cuisine and culture comes together to create an unforgettable impression. Punjab is all set to win your hearts with its unique and colorful extravaganza.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Lipakshi Kuran, and moving on. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in the country and abroad in the Mann Ki Baat program on Sunday at 11 a.m. IST. It will be the 109th episode of the monthly radio program. The program will broadcast on DD India. It will also be streamlined live on the YouTube channels of Doordarshan. And preparations are underway as students and teachers collaborate on a special art exhibition set to be featured during Pariksha Pe Charcha, enhancing the event with their creative expressions. It is a discussion on students dealing with exams. DD India correspondent Kriti Vadhera reports for more.
Art is powerful in education. It not only fosters creativity and self-expression, but also enhances critical thinking and problem-solving skills. A unique art exhibition has been curated specifically for Pariksha Pe Charcha, showcasing diverse government schemes.
We are very excited, as usual, to participate in the event, and 3 of our projects have been chosen by the CBSE to be showcased at Pariksha Pe Charcha. So we are hoping that the Honorable Prime Minister will be interacting with the children, and children will get an opportunity to showcase their projects. These projects are on agriculture, they are on anti-bullying and women empowerment, and they are also on creating the oxygenated masks for the people where the environment is concerned and the pollution is concerned. So they've prepared these projects, and there's a lot of artwork which is being put up there also. And all this artwork that is there, it is an amalgamation of different folk arts. It is also depicting the different initiatives that our Honorable Prime Minister has taken.
Art encourages students to think beyond conventional boundaries, fostering a holistic approach to learning. While preparing artworks to be displayed at Pariksha Pe Charcha, attendees are eagerly anticipating the opportunity to meet PM Modi.
It's a very great opportunity for me, and I'm feeling very excited to meet Modi ji, and it's a great learning experience for me.
My artwork depicts how progressively India is developing in varied fields like Kisan Shakti, Nari Shakti, Kaushal Vikas, new education policy, etc. And the artwork is also depicting my Dr. Oxy mask, which we have developed with the help of new technology, which will help people with respiratory problems to seek medical help immediately.
We've created 3 different models, and we've created 5 artworks depicting what we are showing in the models, and one is the universal artwork for what we are depicting. My favorite one is the where Lord Ram is creating the Ram Setu, and similarly we are showing Modi ji, and it's his vision to create India into a developed nation by the year 2047, which will be the 100th year of independence.
With such impressive artworks, Delhi is gearing up to host the much-awaited Pariksha Pe Charcha this year, featuring PM Modi on 29th January at Bharat Mandapam. With camera person Lalit, I'm Kriti Vadhera reporting from New Delhi for DD India.
And now let's take a look at other stories making news today. In the Indian state of Bihar, amid fast-changing political scenario, the political parties RJD, BJP and JDU have asked all MLAs to remain present in Patna city. Several rounds of meetings have taken place separately by all 3 political parties so far. The hints given by BJP and JDU leaders indicate that the survival of the Grand Alliance government in the Bihar state is very difficult. The chairman of High-Level Committee on One Nation, One Election and former President of India, Ram Nath Kovind, on Saturday held consultations with former Chief Justice of India, Justice U. Lalit and others. The committee sought their opinions on holding simultaneously elections in the country. The committee has initiated a consultation process relating to the holding of simultaneous elections in the country. A rare golden tiger was recently spotted taking a stroll in Kaziranga National Park in Indian state of Assam. This sighting adds to the list of diverse faunal features found in Assam's landscape. The tiger was seen slowly walking on a trail in the jungle. The big cat keeps moving for some time before disappearing inside a bush on the side of the road.
Golden tiger in Kaziranga.
And moving on, with the inauguration of the Ram Temple in the holy city of Ayodhya and the centre's initiative, which aims to develop religious tourism in India, Uttar Pradesh's economy to cross $500 billion mark by financial year 2028 due to boost in religious tourism, export and investment. Uttar Pradesh is poised to receive over 4 lakh crore rupees from tourists by the end of 2024, almost double what it earned in 2022. And on to some sports news now. World number 1 Rohan Bopanna and Matthew Ebden created history when they defeated Simone Bolelli and Andrea Vavasori to win Australian Open men's doubles title. Bopanna has become the oldest Grand Slam winner at the age of 43 after the Indian and Australian pair won the match 7-6, 7-5. The Italian duo were blown away in straight sets. Before Saturday's triumph, Bopanna had never won a men's double title at a Grand Slam tournament despite reaching the final twice at the US Open in 2013 and then in 2023. Though he does have a Grand Slam title thanks to his mixed doubles win in 2017 at the French Open. Bopanna has become the 3rd Indian to win men's doubles Grand Slam title. Well, Indian tennis stars are creating a historical benchmark in the world, and the youth is no less. Young tennis stars who draw inspiration from Rohan Bopanna are all set to present their skills at the national podium. Take a listen to this to know more about the dreams and desires of tennis players at Khelo India.
This is the first edition of Khelo India Youth Games. Are you a bit nervous?
Not much. I'm feeling fine. I'm good.
Do you have any strategies in mind or any plans in mind when you come here to play at a national level?
Yes. It's all about the game when you play in the court. It's I make all the strategies while playing. Not it only depends on the opponent, how he plays, how the court and all. It really depends on the situation.
How are you planning your game to be at this edition?
I'm definitely planning to perform my best in this tournament. So I'll try to get a medal for Maharashtra.
Great. So also when we talk about the importance of Khelo India Youth Games, how important it becomes for youth players?
It is a very good platform for players like us. It gives us a chance to represent our states and is a very good exposure for everyone.
And for you, where you come from Kerala, how important it is?
It's one of the most important games for me. I would like to, Kerala hasn't really got any gold medal as far as I know, so I would like to win 1 gold medal for Kerala, for playing Kerala.
We have this news of Rohan Bopanna, who is also creating records. Does this inspire you and the kind of facilities and opportunity that you have in your hand right now?
Yes, it inspires us because he's the oldest world number 1 currently. So yes, it inspires us to play good, as he's also playing at his old age, so it inspires us.
What do you have to say about that?
It's very inspirational to see him do such kind of things at such an old age. It says that it doesn't matter about age, it's just a number, and it's all in your mind, and what matters is a passion in a person.
Indeed. So what matters the most is the passion of the person, of the player. And with this, the tennis athletes are all set to create a mark at this edition of Khelo India Youth Games. With camera person Senthil, this is Deepika reporting for DD India from Chennai.
And in cricket, India eyes on day 4 of the first test match against England. England vice-captain Ollie Pope produced an unbeaten 148, but India remained on course for victory in the opening test at the end of day 3 on Saturday. The tourists had risked a defeat inside 3 days after India reduced England to 163 for 5 in their second innings in the second session of the day. But Pope dug his heels in to produce arguably his finest knock, even though India will remain confident of going 1-0 up in the 5-match series. Rehan Ahmed was keeping Pope company on 16, with England finishing the third day on 316 for 6, putting them 126 runs ahead. India amassed 436 in their reply to England's first innings 246, taking a lead of 190. India has not lost a test series on home soil since 2012. Well, that's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter and Instagram. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipakshi Khurana from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.